Welcome to the PR Maven podcast, a podcast all about growing your network and building your brand through traditional and digital networking techniques. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven and CEO of Marshall Communications. Stay tuned for this week's episode, and thanks for listening. Welcome, PR Maven Nation, to this week's episode, one of our mini episodes, a quick and informative look at email etiquette tips. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven, and I have been working in PR throughout my long career and have a special interest in personal branding. It's what makes you stand out from everyone else who does the same thing you do and attracts people who need what you have to offer. I'm also a keynote speaker, an author, and a columnist for the Forbes Agency Council and Mainebiz. My audiences have said that helping them think about their superpower has changed the way they think about their careers and their lives. I hope you like this episode, and I hope you'll share it with other people who might be interested in hearing it. This week, I'll be sharing one of my recent Mainebiz columns entitled Show Some Respect and Other Email Etiquette Tips. So let's dive right in. Can you imagine a time when we didn't have email? I remember when my late father, Frank Briggs, who was an electrical engineer for Westinghouse, first got email, and his administrative assistant would literally print out all of the messages for him. He would bring the emails home at night and write out his responses longhand so she could then type and send them out the next day. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that he did that. And I didn't even think it was weird at the time, or else I would have let him know. But I didn't know better. I don't know about you, but I process through hundreds of emails a day now. My fingers literally fly across my keyboard. Thank goodness I took a typing class in 8th grade so I can type as fast as thoughts come into my busy mind. But it shouldn't be all about speed. So let's slow down a bit, cowboy. Remember that every email you send is a representation of your personal brand. Emails essentially reflect your personality and your reputation. Emailing impacts the way the recipient feels about you and whether or not they respect you as a professional. After all, your personal brand is based on how you make other people feel. So you need to put yourself in the recipient's shoes and think about how your words will impact them when you send that email. Here are my 10 tips for email etiquette. 1, make sure you're using a professional email address. If you still have an AOL or Yahoo address, you're going to be perceived as a dinosaur. I hate to tell you. Ideally, you should have a .com email address that is branded with your business or organization. And if you work for a nonprofit or an educational institution, it could be a .org or a .edu. Number 2, subject lines are important. For people like me who receive hundreds of messages a day, the subject line gives me a quick preview as to the email's importance and relevance. It is also a way for people to go back and find an email when they need it later on. Number 3, make an appropriate greeting and sign off. At a minimum, you should greet someone by saying good morning or good afternoon, commenting on the weather or asking how they're doing today. Likewise, at the end of your email, sign off cordially and professionally. I cannot stand it when some person who doesn't even know me greets me with, "Hey, Nancy." That's way too casual for a random email. I hit delete without even responding to these. Number 4, be careful about using reply all. If an email goes out to 30 people, it is likely that not all 30 of them need to see your response. Think twice and just consider responding to the person who sent the original message. Number 5, and this is a real pet peeve, do not use all capitals. Back to the dinosaur reference. There's nothing that will make you look more like a dinosaur than typing your subject line or the message in all capital letters. It's the same as shouting in person. Number 6, reply within 24 hours or put an away message on your email program. In business, promptness is expected. If you can't be prompt, you need to have an autoresponder providing an explanation. Perhaps you can also provide the email of another person with your organization just in case they need to reach somebody right away. Number 7, keep the emojis to social media. Believe me, there are times I've been tempted to decorate my emails with the bah face or a cat emoji. But in the professional world, it's best to hold back on the emojis. I do have to admit, sometimes I put a smile face in my emails. Forgive me. Go crazy with the emojis on Instagram instead. Number 8, and I hope you can relate to this. I know I can. If you're angry, write the email, but don't send it. Just let it sit on your computer until tomorrow. If you're angry with someone, it's fine to write the email, but just don't rush to send it. It's not going to get you anywhere to vent and express rage in an email. Rise above it. Breathe. This too shall pass. Number 9, show some respect. If you're taking the time to email someone, you need to show them the respect they deserve, regardless of their status in life. They may be above you or below you in the pecking order, but always treat others the way you want to be treated. That's the golden rule. And number 10, email is not the be-all and end-all of communication. There are still times when it is best to pick up the telephone and make a call. Yes, actually dial a telephone number and talk to a person. Sometimes you should actually send a letter in the mail, especially if it's a thank you note. There's no better way to stand out in a crowd than sending a handwritten note in the mail. Let's face it, email etiquette is the kind of topic that could turn into one of those tip-a-day calendars. Maybe I should do that. But for now, please post your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. One of the most important things in the world is to communicate with others, and email is just the beginning. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and don't forget, as a listener of this show, you can get the first chapter of my book, Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, for free. Just visit prmaven.com/giveaway and sign up for our email list to receive the first chapter. Now here are my friends Lori Doobie and Tyler Gaudette to share how Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand has helped Sprague and Curtis Real Estate. Have a great day, PR Maven Nation.
Sprague & Curtis is a locally owned real estate company. We're primarily focused in central Maine. I got excited about Nancy's book because she's so well known in the area for her marketing and branding techniques, and we're always looking to expand and learn and grow, and so a lot of us here at the office decided that we wanted to read her book and learn some new techniques.
It benefits Sprague & Curtis to have a large brand and audience because there can often be multiple years between transactions with clients, so it's important to network with them and stay in touch with them in those in-between periods. And this book really helped us learn some techniques and methods to continue to do that. We organized a small book group with Nancy's book with brokers in our office this winter to share information and remind ourselves how important it is to always be working on our network and continually reaching out to our customers.
Platforms like social media are important in expanding your business, but equally as important are handwritten notes, cards, letters. She inspired me to send her a note of appreciation, just thanking her for the book and her insight. In reading Nancy's book, I was excited to look to continue to grow our brand and our audience. I think she does a great job of motivating us.
Nancy's book really helped me learn a few things in marketing and branding and how important it is to stay on top of reaching out to clients periodically, staying top of mind, providing useful information, and really telling our story as a company.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the PR Maven podcast. I invite you to share a review of the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation on Facebook. It's free to join, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you use an Alexa device, use your Alexa app to search the Skills and Games section to find and enable the PR Maven Podcast Flash Briefing. This will give you access to exclusive content and more PR and marketing advice. Thanks again for listening, and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.